Okay, everybody out in Facebook land, we are back for our 18th clinic of the NMRAx convention, and it's not really a clinic, it's a layout tour with the absolutely fantastic Mr. Thomas Gasior MMR in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, United States. And Tom's going to be giving us a layout tour of his fantastic model railroad. It's survived acquisition by the UC&W. So Perry, keep your mitts off. And we'll let Tom describe his layout. He's ably assisted by his grandson Riley, who is going to be running some trains for you all. So I hope you enjoy this. As always, put your questions in the chat on the live stream, and I'll be picking them up as we go, and we'll do a Q&A at the end. So with that all said, Tom, I'm going to make you full screen. I'm going to hand it over to you.
All righty. See when it goes here. So thank you guys for joining me on the Split Rock Mining here. Thanks, Gordy, for the intro. And
You're okay. You're on.
Am I on? All right. Okay. So thanks for joining Split Rock Mining. We're going to have a little layout tour here. My grandson Riley will be my engineer. Hopefully everything will go right. So it's a running layout, so I hope for some forgiveness. We're going to try and give you a good show. My layout is a play in 3 acts. It's a mining railroad. It's not a class 1. It's not a class 2. It's just owned by the mining company. We just haul iron ore. And we'll show you this and how it goes. We're going to follow a mine train. Then we'll follow the road train down to the dock, and then we'll do the dock shove. And if we have time, we'll follow the empties back to the mines. So let me kind of show you where our railroad is located here. All right, get on my handy pointer here. This is Minnesota. See the whole state. This is the map area. This is the iron mining area of Minnesota. There's the Cuyuna Range, which was the Northern Pacific and the Sioux Line. And then the huge Mesabi Range with the DM&IR and the Great Northern Ran. And then there was also the Vermilion Range. And this is where the Split Rock runs, out of Ely, Sudan Tower, down to 2 harbors for the dock. And it's just a dedicated ore mining railroad. So, all right, let's follow a train here. We'll get Riley fired up here. And we're going to have a pair of RS-27s. And we're going to follow them up to the Diana Lynn mine in Ely. And I'll try and give you a good showing of that. We're going to come ahead here to the grade crossing, one of the few grade crossings, Minnesota 135 between Tower and Sudan. And if you'll notice that the signal is broken and there's a crew working on it. So as Riley chugs out of Gunflint Junction here, you see that crew getting everybody safe. And then we're going to go up through Sudan, through the rock cut. And as we pass this, we're passing the Elizabeth mine. You can see the 4 companies that own the Split Rock. Elizabeth mine is in Sudan. And the train will probably serve that next. The mine runs will do multiple runs up the main line. There we go. And so as Riley's entering the Diana Lynn mine area, we will then start working to swap out the loads and the empties. You can see a former loading dock and remove things for when they were building the mine, some old trackage. And so Riley at the operations will come down here to one of my uncoupling ramps. And you can see that X. He'll stop between the engine and the first cars. Everything on my layout is done with magnets. There's no touching the trains. So all the throws are remote, and then everything is magnets, Katy magnets, delayed and non-delayed, with pull rods on there. I'll get that past the two, and then we'll run around the train, and we'll come down here and do some work. I will help him throw some switches. The first thing we have to do is remove our caboose. So Riley's he got his train gun. He'll pick up the pace here and get out there. We're going to remove the caboose. And it's already situated by a magnet. If you can see anything orange on my layout, that dedicates that there is a magnet. And so Riley's going to get it out past our one switch. There we go. And then he'll come up and couple up. And we'll throw the magnet here. This is one of my movable magnets. There you go. You should just pull away, hopefully. Here we go. All right. Now we'll put the caboose aside down the lead over here. We can remove the magnet. Magnet's on a little tension rod here. And as that does, the magnet goes up and down. So now he's going to come down here by the Ely sign. And you can see the guy in the red hat. Sometimes I'll put people in orange hats. Whoops, I forgot to throw the switch. Told you we need some forgiveness here. All right, right there. There you go. Now forward. Grandpa the operator. All right, there we go. All right. I guess I get fired. He's doing well. Now, Riley is also running on his phone. The Split Rock Mining is completely Wi-Fi. I have Digitrax with the LNWI. And I also have the adapter for the proto throttle. And I have a friend who has a few proto throttles and not a layout, so he's let me use it if I bought the adapter. So Riley will get that right there and then pull that orange lever, and it should just walk away. Nope, got to get some more slack in her. So we're learning. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go back. Where's my pointer? And we're going to get on track 4 here. The other one you'll see is a blue flag. They're working on that. So we're going to move the loads over. All right. And this is the kind of operation at the mines. The other mine is on a grade, and that employs handbrakes, which are quite interesting. If you check out my YouTube channel, you can see the use of handbrakes on there. There you go. All right, here come the loads out, and then we'll put those on the caboose. And then we'll stuff the empties in there and be on our way back. So now you're probably asking, what are those little balls for on there? Those are actually map pins, and they designate the grade of iron ore. And that's how they used to check iron ore. They used to test it at the mines and then send the results down to the dock. And they would blend the ore in the boats to get the right consistency for the steel mills if they wanted a certain quantity or quality of 80% ore, 90% ore, 20%. So I was going to push the engines back to this arrow here. You'll see another orange. Here's another uncoupling ramp. I don't know if you can see that. And he will stop that there and walk away and go get the empties. Now this is going on simultaneously with the road jobs and the dock jobs. I usually have up to 3 operators and myself. And we keep quite busy. There is no staging. There is no loop. There is no need to refresh anything because the loads are removable. And they get removed at the dock and they get put in at the mines. All right, so we'll get past that one switch out there. And then we're lined into track 4. All right, that'll do. I should bring her back and you can see, maybe you can see the magnets I have placed there. Those are non-delayed magnets. So you can couple and uncouple on them. The Katie's will not go out of place there. He's doing that. We'll try and show you some details here. Some signs, some old rail. See that they've actually taken the frog out of this switch to save some money. And he'll bring it to the orange and uncouple it there. That a boy. A little bit more. That way. And walk away. Oh, we'll get it in there. Yeah, try it a little more. We may have to use the Uncle Sam hand. All right. There we go. And now we'll get past the 4 switch here and couple onto our train and depart. You'll push it off that magnet. And all right, now we can head back to the yard. Now, one of the rules you'll see here is when you leave, throw all the rods back because then you'll be lined in. Oops. Stop her there, Riley. Push the caboose on the end there. Yeah, there we go. You want it, then you'll be lined up for coming back the next time. All right, here we go. Now we'll go down the mountain. We'll go past Sudan and Elizabeth Mine again. And we'll be lined into the yard. Now these are an entire Elko roster after 1955. The line wasn't built till 1955, so no RS3s or 4s or FA units or anything like that. And now we've lined Gunflint Junction here. We'll go past here. Superior National Forest. And Riley will enter Vermilion Yard in Tower, Minnesota. Vermilion Yard, see if I can get it sign here. It's kind of a loads in and 1 runaround track. There's four tracks for ore, 2 arrival tracks. You can see a train, empty train here on the arrival track. And that's, so here's orange again. Riley will pull it up to these orange sticks, uncouple the engines, and we'll move them out of the way. And then we'll have the road power in the back take her down the mountain. All right. There you go. Still keep going. I think you got slacking. There you go. Well, he's getting used to his iPhone. We downloaded that. He's got the Engineer. He has an Android. I have the Y throttles. If anybody comes over and wants to use their phones, we'll get past the 2 switch. There we go. And we'll back them up. You can see the pond in the front here. We have geese. And Riley get that in the clear, and then he's going to acquire those other engines. He's going to acquire engines 32. Here you can see a crew van and a caboose. They'll take the conductor off the inbound train. That's good, Riley. You stop there and acquire 32. He'll take an inbound train and drive them around to the rear, because there's no way these conductors are going to want to walk. All right. We'll dial up 32 and we'll double our train. You got her? All right. There we go. Yep. A little faster there. Pull them on out. We're all lined out. And then we're going to get past the 3 switch and then grab the other half of our train. These are RS-32s. They're Atlas. And they have tsunamis on them. Tsunami ones without the nice speakers like Kaylee was talking about back last night. All right, that'll do. You back your train up. And he'll back it up and easily couple it into. He's getting better at this. Nope. There we go. All right, nice and easy. Here we go. Keep going. Keep going. All right, there we go. Now we got our train. Faster Riley. Here we go. He's going to take off. And we got the whole train. We'll see if we can get you on the S curves here. And the bridge. You're going perfect. You get the ore train snaking around the grade there. We'll follow it around. And now we're heading into the deep woods of northern Minnesota. Heading over the rivers in the woods. And if you pay attention, you'll probably start hearing crickets and loons and things like that. So this is a 20-car train. Road trains are 20. The mine runs are 10 and the dock shoves are 9. And here you can also see the old abandoned lead because they used to switch up in Vermilion, but we don't anymore. So this is the pretty part of the layout. It's the Doll River Bridge. The railroad crosses by, see the woods. And then you can see, if you look closely, you can see an abandoned, let me get my arrow there. You can see an abandoned narrow gauge mining, logging line back in the woods. And then we come out of Dosa Tunnel here. Named for my friend Dan Dosa. And we're going to go past Loon Lake over here. Now, Loon Lake is rather interesting. You look, you can see the loons in there, and there's also, I'm going to put some eagles up in the nest in the tree. I don't know if I showed you that. They actually have a fire tower up there with Ranger Gord from the Red Green Show. So now as the train's arriving back in Agate Bay, we'll bring it into the arrival track as we reach Civilization. Past the diesel facility, past the rip tracks. Notice the guy's welding away in the rip tracks. And the train takes these crossovers, and Riley's going to bring them up to another dedicated magnet here and uncouple the power. And here's the town. Look at Civilization finally. So Riley will bring them up to this point and uncouple the engines and run around, and we'll take the caboose off. So you can see the rest of the town. Oh, there you go. Back it up a bit. The town is mostly foam core buildings with model builder supply things on there, but I do have some nice downtown deco structures built by my friend Greg Dahl and so forth. So he'll clear the runaround switch. There you go. And then he'll come back and we'll get our caboose. View of Agate Bay here as we go by. Campers, bakery truck. 1969 is the setting. Trying to have vehicles that fit that. I think that's how you set your timing as vehicles and what's on the local movie theater. Here's the shops. So Riley's going to come back and go through these crossovers again. There's the caboose track. The cabooses are Rapidos, but they're weathered by Ralph Renzetti. He started off the show. They're amazing work, absolute works of art. Friend of mine. And so Riley will get past the crossovers here, and then we'll go in and grab that caboose and put that on the caboose track. And maybe show you the control panel here. All right, that's good. Now also the red are the crossovers. And I have a combination of fast track bullfrogs. You saw Kevin talking about those, and some double pole, double throw toggle switches. So Riley will couple on. There you go. And he'll back it up, and you'll see this guy with the orange hat because you can't see the magnet. So I put a figure there with an orange hat. He'll uncouple the caboose there. A little slack, there you go. And away we go off to the caboose track. Now you'll also notice we have a yellow car. This is the one we're going to follow. The railroad painted it that way to commemorate the first load of iron ore. That was, there you go, Riley. Now I'll put it in the caboose track. The first load of iron ore to Agate Bay. And I numbered that. That's 323. That's also my anniversary, so it helps me remember that. So we're coming up to this uncoupling, and then he'll shove it in and uncouple that, the number one. And then the crew can go to the depot. There you go. I gotta back it up a bit. Right about there. There we go. And then the crew can go to the depot and have coffee, and then we'll pick up the 3200 here, the yard switcher, and we'll show you how that's done. All right, that's good, right?
Right here?
Yep, stop right there. All right, so dial up the 3200. And you'll notice we have a scale. So all the ore has to be weighed here. It's an in-motion scale. So Riley will come up and couple up to these. And we weigh 10 cars at a time. So we'll couple up, and then we're going to drag 10. So we'll get them back at all the white ones. See where the white ends, Riley?
Yeah.
So we'll cut off that car right there. Right there. All right, that's good. Put some slack in it. All right, now stop right there because I want to show them this. Oh. So the scale has an on-off lights, and I got LEDs. So we turn the scale on, and you can see the little lights come on. And then I turn on beginning, and see if I can get it in there. And the lights should be blinking. All right, so now Riley can take them over the scale, and we'll weigh them. And it's the engines in the back, diesel service, C430 demos, RS36s, and some Asabi RSD12. All right, that's good. We'll turn off the scale. Now we're going to put the white ones away. So Riley will bring them down to this track here. We're starting up. So we'll put the 5 white ones in there, and then the 5 yellow over there. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, get it to right. Another one more. There we go. And walks away. So now we're going to go over to these 4, and then we'll have a dock shove. Throw that switch. All right. Now Riley can keep going. And what? There we go. We'll slow it down a bit because we're going to go to the dock. So we'll go through the town. I'll show you the town some more. And on the way to the dock, you can see the material yard. Instead of blue flag, derail protection, some panel track cars, gondolas, and a storage facility, some extra frogs, point rails, joint bars, switches, rails, ties, all the things we need there. Okay, so here comes Riley, and we're going to go out to the dock. And I'll show you a shove card here too. So we're going to go to track 2, and he's going to bring it here to the orange. And this is where I have a movable magnet. And this is a delayed magnet, so we can delay it and push it out to the dock. So he'll stop it there, and then we'll activate the magnet and get some slack. So I'll push the magnet, and I'll back it. Just there you go. He's delayed. Now go forward really slow. There you go. Real easy. And then the magnet should kick over. Nope. Back her up. We're working on this. Okay, there you go. Push her forward. Right there, back it up just one bit. That's it. I'll go forward. It's not behaving. Back her up again. We'll try this. We're teaching the young man. All right. Forward just a bit. There you go. Back just one bit. Perfect.
Now forward.
Yep. See if you can go forward. If not, I'll pull the coupler over. Nope. You gotta back it up. We're gonna do this by hand. So back her up, buddy. All right. Now forward. Use a pointer to kick it over. There we go. All right. So now this one has to go to dock 13.
Okay.
So when he gets it even with these other empty cars, you can see we got a boat in here. Little Fitz is here. It's 1969, so he's still floating. So Riley will get it pushed in there in the dock. And above the docks, we have boats. And this is where the pins go. And he can just back away and go to the other track. This is the Andreadosa. This is the one we're loading. And it already got 9 greens and so yellow. So now we need 9 yellows. And I'll take those pins out and actually put them in there. So when you get past the blue switch, come on back. Keep going there, Riley. And I'll show you my oar loads. My oar loads are cast plastic. If I can get this right here. So they're cast plastic. Yep, throw that and come on in. And then I drill them out, I paint them, and I drill the backs with a Forstner bit and put washers in there in a hole. And then I can uncouple them. So when we get to the pins, all right, that's it, Riley, stop there. I can take the pins out and put them in the ship. Then I have a thing called an oar plucker. And I can actually, of course, I'm doing it left-handed. So stick that in and it pulls the oar right out. And then I can put it in a bucket. So Riley's got a hold of the empties. We're going to drag these back to the yard. We got time. We'll take an empty up the hill and then we'll answer some questions. Now, you can tell parts of the layouts aren't finished and parts are, but it's a work in progress and enjoying So what the dock guy has are these shove cards. And here you can see shove 2. The boat Andrea Dose needs 9 yellow, track 2, and what the pockets. And then down here I'll have shoves to do and the shoves that are done. So that would go under. That's the only paperwork we have. Hand me my pointer over there, Robbie. All right, he's just about gone here. And then we'll line him up. All right, that'll do, Riley. One more car. And then we'll back him up. And how I do it is track 5 is always the empties. And our goal is to get 20 empties so we can send at a time. Yeah, there's my scratch built depot back there someday. So Riley will bring him here and uncouple the engine at the orange. And walk away. All right, so now we're gonna move these cars just out of the way. So Riley, we'll go couple onto those, and then we'll just move them over a track. There we go. Nope, you want to go back. You got to go back over to that track. So get past the switch down there. Go all the way out. All right, perfect. And you can take those out, and then when you get them past that switch, we'll put them in there. And here it comes to the magnet again. And that's good. All right. Try her one more time, buddy. Okay. There we go. So now we're going to come over here and grab 20 empties over here. And we're going to put those out on the departure track. On our road power, we will take a train. Still got some timer, so there you go. We'll take a train up the mountain and show you the pretty part of the layout again, and then answer some questions. Time saving, we got a caboose already here. We'll couple onto that. Yep, when you get past it. All right, that'll do. And I'll bring her back. We'll couple onto that nice and easy. Easy, there we go. And then we'll uncouple the engine at the guide. All right, shoot this walk away. All right, now we'll get that engine over the scale, and then Riley will dial up 32 again. We'll throw our crossover switches. And he's got them there, and you can bring them back and couple up, Riley. And then we'll go up the mountain again. And this is the circuit. This is what you get hauling iron ore. least you know where the loads are going and where the empties are going. It's just a matter of how much. And then why I do iron ore instead of taconite is the colored pins, because this is the switching. As the trains come in various colors, there is still some switching in operation. So he'll push them past the guy in the orange hat. There you go. All right. So now we'll go up the mountain. Let me get over here, Riley, and then we'll go and show everybody the pretty part of the layout. I can hear the loons in the back. You can also see a willow tree I scratch built. Everybody wants to know how to make it, and I won't tell them because I want to save you the trouble. That was actually built branch by branch with string dragged through paint, dragged through knock leaves, and dried, and hung up on bamboo skewers. Oops. And I'll see if I can show you a Dosa tunnel over here. It's a little shadow box scene. See the repairman's in there, truck and ties, and makes a nice little photographic shadow box here. The tunnel's modeled after Erie Mining's Kramer Tunnel. It has a door on it to seal it in the wintertime. Railroad shuts down in the winter. No boats on Lake Superior. You can see the rocks are drilled. See the drill marks and blasting. You can see the bridge and the tower again. There's Riley. He's got his bell on to know you're coming. All right, Riley, I'm going to have you halt there because we have to line our route. And I want to show these people once again. You can see Vermilion Junction, and you can see where I've modeled the former lead. I actually had a switching lead up here. I pulled it out and I thought, well, I'll make that a scenic item. And then you can see the only two switches on the layout that don't have pull rods because they're just too close. All the switches are hand built with fast tracks like Kevin Marks. And then most of the track here. So we're gonna line this one. All right, Riley, you're lined in. We'll get you going past our pond. You see the geese in the pond. You can see turtles. Fowler needs to make some geese and sell them in packs of 30. See turtles on the log. There's actually HO scale frogs there. We got them from Shapeways. We'll get the caboose up here and then we'll stop and then we'll do some Q&A. All right, Riley, that's good. All righty. I'm going to steal your chair there for a second, bud. And Gordy, you want to come back and we'll do some questions, or?
I am here. I have lots of questions from the people.
All right.
So, folks, if you are asking questions now, you're gonna have to stop because I'm an octopus, but we have enough questions, I think, at this point with the time that we've got left. So, Luke Lemons asked, there are 2 loading tracks at the mine. Is there a difference between each one?
Yes. The mines will dig up different grades of ore, so they will have different pins in them, and that produces more switching. And back in the old days, I've actually got videos of this. There were guys that would go with a little scoop, almost like a teaspoon or cup, and they'd scoop up the ore and put it in cloth bags and send it away. So when ore was coming up, each car was graded. So each mine produces a different version. So if that helps.
Okay, that I'm sure it'll help, Luke. Okay, Mike Kennethek, I think I've said that right. I apologize if I'm getting these names wrong. He asks a couple of questions. Oh no, it's just one question, but it's got 2 parts. So, how far below the couplers is the movable magnet when it's raised? He was thinking that you normally have to place the magnet between the rails only just below the trip pins. So,
correct.
How does it work?
That's a good question. So the non-delayed magnets go between the rails, and they're at just right below the rail height. The movable magnets are delayed, and those are the bigger, stronger ones. So those have to go under the ties. And I've made them movable in a number of ways. You saw at the ore dock where I routed out a piece of wood and I can slide it back and forth. Up at the mines, I've adopted a hinge method where the magnets hinge down, and then you pull them and hinge up. I got that from a gentleman on YouTube who does the Saginaw terminal. He does a sugar plant. So, because those I can't leave in place, so they'll uncouple trains all the time. So you want the delayed magnets under the ties and the non-delayed ones on the ties. I hope if that helps.
Absolutely. Okay, so keep going. We have about a dozen questions, by the way.
That's good. We got time, I think.
So yeah, we got time. Then we're probably gonna have to kill the stream on Facebook and start a new one. So
kill it.
John McCluskey asks, how many ore jennies do you roster?
I need 160 to run a session. I probably have 200, 250. When I was acquiring them, I didn't know how many I needed, and so I acquired them and built them. But right now, the layout runs really good with around 160 to 180.
Okay, that's cool. And his second question from John is, what's the normal operating crew size?
Normal, I like 3 people plus me to handle everything. And we usually go for about 2 hours. And I also let my crew, after 40 minutes or an hour, we switch jobs. So you will get to run the yard. You'll get to run the road trains. You'll get to go to the mines. I like that you can switch jobs. My layout is, as you can see, it's a manageable size. It's not even 20 by 20. So with only 3 jobs, I usually get 3 people. I can run it by myself. It was designed for me. But if I have 2 people come over, then I'll grab a throttle. So 3 is the most.
That's cool. So Patrick Forney asks, how do you pour or cast with plastics, and how did you make the mold? Might be a big question to ask, but
the big question, maybe that's the next clinic. I use a 2-part compound for the molds, rubber molds. I create the ore load that I want and hot glue it onto a flat surface and build a wall around it. Then I pour the 2-part molds like a blue rubbery. I wish I could have one to show you. And then the resin is a 2-part resin. It's a resin and a hardener, and you mix up equal parts. I don't like the 5-to-1, 10-to-1. I like if both are the same. For my simple brain, it works better. And I'll mix up at a time to make 13, 20 loads is about less than a cup. So, because there's not much to them. So I like the 2-part mold. I think Smooth On makes it. And I think Smooth On makes the resin, or you can find them on the auction site. But I always like using a 1-to-1 ratio or by volume. But the mold, once you make a mold, you have it probably, to make 1,000 ore loads and things like that. So they last.
Absolutely.
The molds last if you take care of them.
Okay. Tom Wilson asks, are the ore cars weighted?
Yes, the ore cars are weighted. If I can grab one here, hang on.
So you've got all your props there.
All my props. So all my ore cars, this one has the weight in the bottom, are NMRA standards. Remember NMRA standards? They all have intermountain wheels. They're all reamed out intermountain wheels. They're weighted, and then Katie's. So yeah, they're all weighted inside. A lot of them have. Let me show you one more. A lot of them have like BBs shot that I just glued in there. Then you paint it, and kind of looks like ore residue or not. No one's really complained about it, but I do weight them down, and my loads are solid too. So the loaded trains coming downhill are pretty good, pretty good weight. But I put them right on a scale. I bought one of those scales that the MMR sells, and I got them the correct way. I think they're like 3.5 ounces each.
Cool. Dave Godwin noticed that your locos run very well. Is that just because you're an expert at laying track, or is that because your locos have got keeper lives in?
I'll take credit for the track. The locos right now, the fleet you saw running has the Tsunami ones in them, and the old speakers. They were put in by Mike Rose, who's a wonderful installer. Him and Kaylee are friends. And I have in my hive mind, and I want to recommend this, my group, I have a DCC expert by the name of Tom Johnson, and he's speed matched everything for me. And so, because DCC and wiring is my Achilles heel, I'm slowly learning it. So I really going to watch Kaylee's thing over and over and over again. But yeah, they run well because they're well tuned. They're Atlas, Proto 2000s. They all have the same decoder. They've all been speed matched. And I take care of them.
That's cool. So Brooks Willig asks, how many cars worth of ore can each chute on the ore dock hold?
In real life, they would load 4 cars of ore per pocket. They're called pockets in the dock, and they would have to bring down 2 more cars for a boat. A modern boat would take each pocket would have 6 cars to load that up. So my boats, they take 8 to fill up and load up a boat because they're smaller and things like that. So I need 72 loads before a boat can sail.
Okay, that's cool.
So on mine, each pocket will take 8 cars. That's a good boat size.
Paul Bellamore asks, what's the heights between the decks?
Probably right around 18 inches. And it kind of goes up over the ore dock because I needed more space to hang the boats behind there. But otherwise, 1.5 feet is what I like. That's enough to reach in and do things.
Bill Chapin asks, what did you do for framing for your upper deck?
I actually got the idea from an old Lionel Strang article in Model Railroader. He used shelf brackets, and I realized that I did this on my old layout in my old town, that the upper deck, you're not going to be crawling on it or weight or anything. It's just going to be your base wood and your trains. So I went to the local do-it-yourself project, and I bought 12 by 12 shelf brackets and then screwed the wood into that. So yeah, everything's held up by, I can probably even show you here. See if I can flip the camera, and you can see a shelf bracket right there.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And there you can see one of my hinge magnets going up. Look at my terrible wiring.
Look at that. Fantastic.
I know.
Okay, we've got a couple more questions left. So Ben Dibble asks, well, you just kind of showed it anyway. But would you be able to show how? hang on. Would you show how you do that on Coupler Works? How do you have it set up below the track with the lever? Is there any way we can see that?
Yeah, let me see if I can show you on here. Let me flip the camera again. So this is the mine up here at the Elizabeth mine, and so I needed one to uncouple the caboose back there, and this has two different ones. So you can see it's a wooden piece with a hinge and then some weights. And then you have this string, and the whole thing is you have to have some tension in this string. This is fishing line because you have to pull it up and then pull it tight. So right there, I can get it up. There, the magnet is up, but I even got it a little more. So you want something that'll give. And it's quite a neat process. And then I need the weights to pull it down. And you can see the magnet on top of there. And then what I've done over here, where our little guy Ely is there, this is a non-delayed one. And when I pull the lever, the magnet goes up into place. And what I did there is, if I can show it, I did a double throw switch, and that locks it. See if I can get it here. That locks it into place. And then I had to have a little weight, and then that just moves it up and down. So awesome. that might be the way of the future there.
There we go, everyone. Okay, well, there was only one question left, and that was a little plug from Mr. Peter Bowen, one of our clinicians who was there a little earlier on weathering, has asked if you would be willing to do one of your articles for the British Region Round.
For what region? I'm sorry, for what region there?
For our region, for the UK.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
For the UK. You know, you remember us, taxation without representation and all that.
Now I can tell my grandson where
So I think we're good. That's all the questions that we've got time for, guys. So people that are watching the stream, yeah, go on.
I want to get a couple of thank yous, and I want to thank my grandson Riley. I want to thank my crew: Greg Dahl, Dan Dosa, Joe Binish, Tom Johnson, DCC, Will Sampson. I want to thank Ralph Renzetti and Lawrence Engerine. If you heard the loons, that's Lawrence Engerine. I want to thank the podcasters, Tom Barbalet, Lionel Strang, Mike Rose have all had me on. And the NMRA social media team for putting this on. Thank you, Gordy, for all the work.
That's no problem. It's a team effort. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going. Marty Jenkins, who is all this is being run through his computer in Australia, is in bed. And what we're going to do just now is we have a time limit on Facebook of how long these Facebook streams can go on for. So we've been cutting them off and starting again throughout the day. We've got about 8 hours, we think, before the stream gets killed. And this stream's been going for about 6 now. So what we're going to do is we're going to look to see whether Marty's left open the stuff that we need to kill the stream and restart it again. And we'll probably kill this video, which has now got 240 people watching it. And when we get it restarted, we'll restart it up into the NMRA Facebook page again and share it to the group. And I'm hoping to bring in Speed and Jordan again to do a little handover to give me a bit of cover for a few hours so I can go and make dinner and get my daughter to bed and then come back and carry on. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Tom and Riley for a fantastic virtual layout tour and ops session. We've just had Operations 101 for everybody, and there's a lot of people saying they want to build an all layout now, so you better hoard as many ore cards as you can because you'll not find any if all these people are going to build all layouts. But thank you everybody, and keep watching and be safe.